I have forbidden Mil from ever seeing my children again. My children, M5, F4, are biracial. I'm brown and my husband is blonde. My children are brown like me. I'm also 14 plus. Pregnant. My husband's brother and his wife are both blonde and their 2 boys are very blonde. Before the children were in the picture I always thought Mil was decent and civil enough to be around. That changed however when the children were born. I started noticing very early on that she treated my children differently and was more attached to their cousins. She would say how the cousins reminded her of her sons and how they looked a lot like my husband and his brother. I felt uncomfortable by her remarks, but the real issue started when my children were old enough to notice the different treatment of them. In holidays and birthday parties my children would get a fraction of the gifts their cousins did, and last Christmas was painful to live through, watching my little boy so distraught and confused when his cousins had received a pile of gifts each while he and his sister only received 1 gift each. I thought I had to do something about this. I suspected it had racial motives, but I didn't talk about these concerns with anyone but my husband, who wasn't really sure if that was the case. I just simply stated however that I didn't want my children to be exposed to this kind of treatment no matter why, and therefore I had decided my Mil should see my children on their own whenever she's interested, but not in the company of their cousins. We love the cousins very much and I didn't want my children to resent them for something they didn't cause. Mil tried to explain that this was only because we live further away, 2H, while the cousins lived just a few houses down. She knew them better, etc. I didn't buy this and insisted on this solution. When one of the cousins had his birthday we celebrated him a day before. My daughter turned 4 a week ago and we had her party last Saturday. I had planned for Mil to celebrate my daughter the day before on Friday, but she didn't show up. She made an excuse about her not being able to drive, so she needed to ride with my brother-in-law and his family. My heart sank, but I didn't want to create tension, so I let it pass. When it was time to open the presents my Mil took out 2 presents and gave 1 to each nephew. She then called my daughter to her and showed her a picture on her phone of a wooden car and told her that her present didn't arrive in time for and she would send it forward as fast as she got it. The cousins opened their present and they got toys. My son got nothing. He was so heartbroken that he just wouldn't leave my embrace the rest of the evening. My heart was swollen in my throat after what she did. It has always been a thing of her to do. When it's one of my children's birthday she would get presents to all 4 children, but if it's one of the cousins she would only get presents for the cousins. Thank God my daughter didn't understand much and she just ignored Mil and continued opening the rest of her presents. But I have had it with my Mil. I told my husband that she is under no condition allowed to see my children again. I'm done and I don't want her in our life until the children are old enough to decide for themselves. My husband thought I wasn't serious at first and then he thought me unreasonable. He probably doesn't realize yet how serious I'm about this. Whatever her reasons are for treating my babies this way, I don't care. I texted her my decision the morning after and she's been calling and texting my husband non-stop since. She's asking to meet to fix her mistake, but this ship has sailed long time ago. I'm done. Comments. Both of my grandmothers had a budget to spend every holiday for each grandchild. It was the same amount for each child. My mother did the same for her 3 children. Each child has the same budget for Christmas, etc. That way no child can be shown favoritism and no one gets their feelings hurt. I'm pretty sure this is standard behavior. The fact that your Mil doesn't even notice this obvious favoritism is disturbing. Blank. Good for you. I am disappointed that your husband doesn't recognize the disparity between the children. Thankfully at 4 your daughter is too young to understand, but your 5-year son does. Maybe instead of saying my children to so say our children. That is our job, to protect them from people that can hurt them as best we can. Your mother is hurting our children and we shouldn't allow this. I am not saying that you can't see her, but our children doesn't need to be around someone that doesn't treasure them for the precious people that they are. Blank. This takes the cake. How does Mil come to a child's birthday party and give the other children a present and show a picture of a toy to the child whose actual birthday it is and not give that child a present? Then that leaves out DS, whose birthday it isn't, along with his sister who got to look at a picture of a toy. I'm predicting that those nephews are going to be in for a tough life because grandma gives them everything so they learn they don't have to work or try hard for anything. The school will be calling Sil constantly because her kids are in trouble again. The trouble just gets bigger as they get bigger. That's what grandma is teaching them. She has taught your children that they just aren't good enough and will never be as good as nephews in her eyes. She has taught nephews that whatever they want, just ask grandma. That's some bullshit. Blank, underscore, blank. Mill, I have watched your blatant favoritism for half a decade. This isn't a misunderstanding, nor am I taking this the wrong way, or any other excuse or justification you can think of. Distance doesn't impact your ability to give presents equally or any of the other differences in the way they are treated. You have treated my children as less than their cousins their whole lives and I'm done. I have spoken to you about this and given you repeated opportunities to behave decently and each time my children have been hurt. I am not keeping my children away to hurt you. I am doing it to protect them from blatant favoritism, toxic behavior and/or discrimination. In short, I am being a good parent. If you want to rebuild anything with them you go through me, not around me to DH. If I decide to give you a final chance I will reach out to you. Don't contact me until I do. I'll let you know if I can stand to look at someone who has hurt my children so much on their birthday they couldn't speak. Maybe some counseling for your DH is also in order. He's grown up with this crap so may not see it, it's time he did. Blank. This sounds so familiar. The Christmas thing. If you didn't post about that before, someone else is living your nightmare. Your husband would have to be blind not to see that your children for whatever reason, are not being treated equally. If she thinks it's appropriate to give gifts to the non-birthday children, then she should have had one for your son and she should have had something wrapped of equal quality or better than whatever she gave your nephews. She hurt your son. It's not the first time either. Time for your son to grow up and tell his mother why she won't be welcome around your children anymore. Favoritism is favoritism, and while she can go overboard while your children aren't there to see it, any holiday or party where it's blatant is very hurtful to the scapegoat children. Honestly, your husband is a just no here for not seeing this himself and telling his mom to knock it off. For trying to tell you that you overreacted. You tried to find a way to prevent the hurt, and your JNMIL went ahead and gave her golden child grandchildren gifts on your daughter's birthday in front of her and your son, and they were the only children to get an actual gift from her. A picture of something that didn't arrive yet? Right. Last minute order? But the golden grandchildren had gifts to open at their cousin's birthday. I'd never even speak to that wench again after she's repeatedly done this to your children. When they start noticing it, the damage is done. Your son already is wondering why grandma doesn't love him as much as she loves his blonde cousins. Your husband trying to rug sweep this is a major failing as a father. That is all I am going to say here. Although apparently it's more important to him to be a son than a father. Otherwise he'd be advocating for his children and not his mommy. There is no way in hell Mill is oblivious to what she's doing. She's been getting away with it and your husband has been allowing it. Shame on him.